house, and then Dad ran after him in his boxers, and then the police pulled him over because they thought my dad was the peeping Tom because he was running around the street in boxers and no shoes. Hey guys, it's Michaela. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. Okay, I don't know why I'm feeling so energetic. Probably had 2 coffees, but it's fine. We'll get through this. And also, I've got my weed candle burning because I need to burn it because it smells like literal cowboy. So we need to get you out of the way. I'm so sidetracked because of my 2 coffees, but it's fine. It's fine, I'm fine. Okay, so today is Friday, so that means Freaky Friday. Ooh, 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 ooh. Alrighty, let's begin. So, because I've been like speaking about all these things recently, it's just been making me remember some freaky deaky things. So today's video is, they're not like things that happen, so to speak, but they're dreams. Bear with me, trust me, they're spooky, they're freaky. So to start off with, this first dream, I have had this for so many years. This dream happened first when I was honestly about 6 years old, and it was the freakiest dream. It was this man who was like peeking on us in the bathroom. Now this was a true story. We did have a peeping Tom when we were younger, and Mum caught him one night and screamed and then locked the house, and then Dad ran after him in his boxers, and then the police pulled him over because they thought my dad was the peeping Tom because he was running around the street in boxers and no shoes. Bit hectic, but it did happen. And then ever since that happened, I always had this dream about this man like peeping into our bathroom. In the dream, Mum catches him and he runs off. No one ran after him in the dream, but he gets hit by the police officer, and like I see it. I don't know how, I don't know why, but it's a dream. Okay, dreams don't make sense. But in the dream, I like oh my gosh, I legit cannot focus. Like I'm like, my brain's like too focused. So he gets hit by this policeman, and for some reason I'm now there and I see him. He gets hit, like we all think he's dead, and then all of a sudden he like rises from the ground and he's just glowing red, and he is like this freaky man and he's after me. So I start running and the police are like trying to chase him, but because he's like this freaky glowing red man, he can outrun the police, and I was outrunning the police too. Like I don't know why they didn't save me and pick me up, but anyways, I find this house. It's like this old like building, like with pointed roofs and things, and there's a staircase that just does this all the way up. So 6-year-old me, I don't know why, decides to run up the stairs in my dream. Of course I'm gonna be at the top with him. And lo and behold, he starts chasing me, like this glowing red man. And like in the dream there's like this freaky music happening, and he's just like chasing me and chasing me and chasing me up these stairs, and then he finally gets to me and like he grabs me, and then I wake up. So I never know what happens. I've had that dream so many times, and every time it gets to that part I wake up. Like it's so weird and I hate it. So I don't know why I dreamed that. I tried to Google it and didn't really tell me much. So like I don't know. So this next story is in 2014, when my nan was really sick. She had a heart surgery, and like we were all very, very close to her. She was such an amazing woman, and I had a dream one night that we were sitting at her funeral, like watching her being put into the ground, and like we were sitting all in these seats with this like umbrella type thing, not umbrella but like gazebo type thing, I don't know, but something was over top of the house. And yeah, it was really, really sad, and I was wearing like this black dress with this little like lace ribbon around my waist, had red lipstick on. Like it was a very vivid dream. And then a week later we get a phone call that my nan had passed away, unfortunately. And then the day of her funeral, I started flipping out because everything that happened in that dream like happened the day of that funeral, which was so sad. Like, I don't know whether that was God preparing me for what was to come, just because he knew, I don't know, maybe he knew I needed, I don't know, to know before, just to handle it better. But it was just so sad, and like mum was like, why are you freaking out right now? And I was like, I've been here before, I've witnessed her being put into the ground. I was wearing the exact same dress in the dream. I was wearing red lips, and everybody like that was positioned in my dream was the exact same position like on the day of the funeral. Like, it's just so freaky. And like I kind of do really believe that that was like God's way of, I don't know, preparing me for what was to come and being able to handle it. But it was still very overwhelming. And then another dream was 11 months later, unfortunately my uncle, he passed away as well from heart complications. And a week before he died, I had a dream, and I didn't remember this dream until the day as well. So I had this dream about, we were driving up to his property because we had told he had passed away. We're driving up to this property in the dream, and at the top was like these all these ambulances, but they were like the old style, how it was just white and a red cross on them. And we like drive up and we get inside the house, and he is laying, like, he was found face down into his pillow, not breathing. And like, that's what the ambulance people tell me in my dream. They go, oh, like, your uncle was found face down, blah blah blah, went into detail in it, like, about it all, and like that was it. And then we saw his body being carried out, and the day that we were told he passed away, it was just mum and I that went to his property. And as we're driving up the driveway, it was exactly how my dream was. Like, we're driving up, and at the top of his property was 3 ambulances. And I again just started like freaking out, because I was like, this is not happening again. Like, I've been here before. And then mom was like getting like upset at me, because she was like, you need to relax, like, this is not a joke. If, like, do you think this is funny? And I was like, I don't think it's funny, like, I'm genuinely freaking out. We like get up into the house, and the ambulance people come up to us, well, paramedics come up to us, and I ask, like, just straight out, I was like, how was he found dead? And they were like, he was laying in his bed face down. And that's when I just, like, I couldn't breathe. I just was crying, like, no sound was coming out. And I just like went outside, because I just could not handle what was happening. And as I'm going outside, like, his body's being brought out in the body bag, exactly how it was in the dream. Like, it was just so surreal for both instances, that everything that I had dreamt happened. And like, at the time I dreamt it, like, I didn't really remember all the details, but the second I was in that situation, everything in that dream was how, like, everything that happened in real life happened in the dream. And then there is one more, which is just really, really sad. So, well, I guess a little backstory as well was, before my nan passed away, I think it was my cousin, and I can't remember who it was, but someone got a reading from a psychic saying you have 3 major deaths, like, pretty much within a year or something, or within 2 years or something, I don't know. But it was, all I do remember is there was meant to be 3 major deaths in our family, very close together. And like, we never looked too much into that. But then my nan passed away 11 months later, my uncle passed away and both from heart complications. So we were all very worried, that we were like, wow, this psychic that we didn't really pay much attention to, like, could it be true that another one of us is going to pass away from heart complications? And thankfully no one else did. But one of my aunties, she did have a miscarriage, and the night of her miscarriage, I had a dream that we were driving up to her property, and it's a really long driveway as well, and I'm driving into her property. I was by myself, and her house all of a sudden sets on fire. This is making me so sad again talking about this. But we're driving up her driveway, well, I'm driving up her driveway, her house starts to get like, just sets on fire, and it like, once it starts, it just like went up in flames. And like my uncle and her were outside the house, and I get out of the car, and inside there's a little girl screaming like, "Mummy, help me, Daddy, help me," and we couldn't get into the house. And so all three of us just had to stand there and listen to this little girl inside the burning house die, screaming out to us for help. And then I woke up and I instantly rang her, and I was like, "Is everything okay? I just had a very bad dream." And she answered the phone. She was very upset, and she was like, "We just had a miscarriage." And we both just started crying, because I could not believe the dream that I just had. And I just rang her out of the blue as well, and she said, yep, they had just had a miscarriage and they hadn't told anyone yet. So that was really sad, really, really sad. But I just could not believe the dream that I had had like prior to that. So they're just the three major things, and like, it's just a little bit too coincidental that like they had a reading that there was going to be 3 deaths in the family, and the 3 deaths that did happen, I had like dreams about it. Going on from my auntie's story, I stayed at her house recently this year, and I stayed in one of the bedrooms on the other side of the house to her, and I wake up in the middle of the night to like, there was something in the room. Like, I had trouble falling asleep because I wasn't alone, and I kept hearing footsteps, and I kept hearing like little footsteps going up and down the hallway. But I finally did fall asleep, and I woke up in the middle of the night to like something near the bedroom door, like just looking at me. But I wasn't scared in a sense. It was just whatever it was making itself present, and like I felt an overwhelming sadness. It wasn't like I was scared, and I was praying because I was like, I don't know what this is. Like, it's not evil, but it's wanting to be known. And then like, I didn't say anything to my auntie because like, I didn't want to freak her out. It's her house, and you know, something was in the room. And then so I hadn't said anything to her other than, "Oh, like, were you walking down the hallway? Sounded like you just kept like pacing back and forth." And she was like, "No, when I said goodnight to you, I passed out, like I was fast asleep." And I was like, and then the next weekend, my other auntie stays at her house and in the exact same room, and she woke up in the middle of the night to a little girl at the same spot that I saw her, like, well, heard something, because it was pitch black, whereas she slept with the lamp on, and she saw like a little girl's figure near the bedroom door, which was so freaky. Like, but she said the exact same thing as me. It wasn't evil, it wasn't there to harm us, it was making itself known and making itself present. And then like, she told my auntie, and she goes, "Oh yeah, Michaela heard footsteps." So we rang each other, like, and we told each other the stories, and we were like, this is way too coincidental. Like, 2 weekends in a row, we've never felt anything in our house before. Like, it was just so like crazy. And then my auntie told us that when they had that miscarriage, they had buried it outside that window of that bedroom. And the timeline of how old that girl looked was exactly like how long ago the miscarriage happened. So I don't know, it's just so sad, but also it's beautiful in a way that like she was alive and she was there. She was wanting to make herself known, like, to us, that like, I don't know, she did survive in a sense. Like, she was just up in heaven. I don't know, I get so emotional talking about it because it's so sad. But yeah, these are just some crazy things that are so unexplainable. So that is my stories. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and there'll be some more videos next week. You need to come closer. Let's get all up and personal. Shaking from the coffee. My eyes are watering. I need help. So guys, the coffee running through my veins. Oh my gosh, it's 3 minutes in and I've literally okay, stop it. Stop it. Focus. Let's get into it. So, I keep saying so. So yourself. I keep saying that. Yeah. I've just had Mont Blanc. Second coffee kicking in, girl.